Well, howdy do, buckaroos. We are live. We are live now, Memorex. Hey, I have got one tonight from a Little Rock brewery called Lost 40 Pale Ale. And I am joined by Todd Wren out of Indiana. Todd, what do you got tonight?
I pulled one out of the fridge. It's Triple Digit Brewing Company out of Cincinnati, Ohio. It's one my brother had picked up for me one point or another. It's called Chickow Hazelnut Brown Double Brown Ale. And there's the bottle, if you can see that
Oh,
or not.
nice. I haven't had that one before. That looks interesting.
And
Let
it's
me show you the can. In our last session, we were talking about craft cans, how a lot of breweries are going to craft cans, and here I've got one. This is a fairly young brewery that started with cans.
and this one says it's 10% ABV.
10%. Oh, see now I went with a moderate pale ale, but you're going big, man.
I just pulled it out. I've had it in there for a little while, so I thought, well, it looks like a good one. I should go ahead and
10%. You said it's a brown ale.
A brown ale, yeah. Hazel double brown ale. Hazelnut double
Double brown.
brown
There
ale.
you go. Okay. I didn't hear the double when you said 10%. Typically, brown ales hover about 4.5 to 5.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the double they weren't lying.
This is a nice looking pale ale. I've had it before, so I know what I'm going to taste here. It's a very nice beer.
I'm gonna pour this bad boy here and
10% brown. Yeah, you ain't playing.
kind of pours a nice amber, kind of a dark amber color there.
Yeah, either you poured it real gently or there's not a lot of carbonation there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't much head on there. I was kind of pouring it more at an angle. So I've had this one before, but it's been a while. I've had this one. I don't know how long you can supposedly keep these. I don't know, but this one's been in my refrigerator for a while. Kind of got shuffled to the back. So
sometimes those big ABV beers don't pour with a lot of head. It depends on how you pour them. Sometimes you got to really aerate the hell out of them to get a head on them.
yeah, and this is another good one out of Cincinnati. Cincinnati's got some. Ohio in general's got some nice breweries going on there too.
Ohio does. I got a couple of Ohio beer friends that send me stuff from time to time, and there's some great stuff going on in Ohio. I really love Fathead stuff. Everything I had from Fatheads has been just crazy good.
Yeah, do we get it? We get some Fatheads here. Do you get any distribution of them there?
No, I do not, and I got to tell you, I love the Headhunter and the Hop Juju. I think those two are just freaking amazing.
Yeah, the Hot Juju is nice. I'm a big fan of that one too.
Yeah, the Hop Juju is, but I really like the Headhunter too. That's a nice beer.
Yeah, I've not had.
Uh-oh. Well, goodness gracious, folks, I just lost. I think we had technical difficulties. I just lost Todd there. I'm not sure what happened. Let's see if we can get him back, shall we? I don't know what happened there. He was talking and then he was gone. We can't get him back. We might have to wrap this session up and try again. Yeah. Not sure what happened. I don't know if the 10% beer got to him, if his wife found him and chucked a shoe at him. I'm not sure what went down, but we lost, man.
You there?
Yo, you back?
I don't know what happened.
I was doing a running commentary about what happened to you, so there we go. And you're back. Back. So
hey, everybody.
I was kind of postulating if that 10% knocked you out that fast, or if your wife found you and chucked a shoe at you. So I wasn't sure which way to go. I was mainly bringing back reflections of my own life, and my wife chucking shoes at me, and
he was waiting for me to be laying on the floor when the video came back on, weren't you?
He took a 4-inch heel to the head, man.
I don't know what's going on. It's got some
the big stiletto mark on your forehead.
yeah. What's that indentation in your forehead there? You don't want to know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my feed tonight. It's been kind of goofy.
Yeah, you got some funky things going on, Noah. So anyway, tell us about that beer anyway.
All right, like I said, it's a Triple Digit Brewing Company. It's actually brewed by Listerman Brewing Company, which is in Cincinnati, Ohio. Had a lot of stuff from Listerman's as well, and they got some good stuff going on also. This is a hazelnut double brown ale, and it checks in at 10% ABV. And I don't know the IBU; it doesn't list it on the bottle.
Well, as you're drinking it, you need
But it
to
doesn't.
give us any tasting notes yet, or you want to drink a little bit of it first?
But it hasn't. Doesn't have a lot of bitterness to it, so.
Well, I remarked that it didn't look like it had a lot of carbonation going on taste-wise. Do you feel carbonation, or does it feel very light on the carb?
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel a whole lot of carbonation on it. Very caramely though. Very, you can feel the hazelnut flavoring. You know, the hazelnut flavor to it, and nice caramel flavor. Real sweet and kind of maltiness going on also. It's very good. Don't feel the 10% in it at all, which
Really?
could be dangerous. Yeah, I don't. It's not real boozy. It tastes more like a. How do I say this? I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. It's very good, and the sweetness is almost overpowers everything. You know, from the hopness and it hides the alcohol very well. It's not like a real sweet, like gonna burn your stomach for some people. You know, like my wife will. She drinks some of the sweet stuff, margaritas and whatnot, and it'll burn her stomach a lot of times. But this doesn't have that. You know, doesn't have that to it. Probably not making a whole lot of sense there, but.
So I'm kind of wondering. You said you've had this one for a while.
Yeah, excuse me, I probably had it since about December, November, probably.
So I'm kind of wondering, with the lack of carbonation, if that's how it's designed, or if it just kind of lost some in the city.
No, if I remember correctly, I had one when I first picked. Well, my brother actually picked them up for me when he first brought them back. I don't remember them being very carbonated at that point in time either, if I remember correctly.
It could be by design. Then it's not. It's just not a very carbonated beer.
Trying to see if I can find a date on it, but I'm not seeing one.
Well, 4 months old. If it's only 4 months old for a 10% beer, that's really not extensive aging.
And it could have been longer than that. That's why I was trying to hopefully find a date, but I don't see a date anywhere on there. And the cap's just a solid black cap, and it wasn't marked anything. So, and I don't see anything on the bottom. So yeah, I don't know. I could be off. I could have had it longer than that. I just kind of found that I've kind of got shuffled to the back of the fridge, so I was kind of rooting through to see what I could find, and saw that.
That happens to me all the time, man. I'll be hunting for stuff. I'll be looking for it, and I can't find it. And then, a few months later, oh, there it is. I did a couple videos a few months ago. There was like 3 in a row that I found. So I thought I either drank already or I couldn't find. So, oh, shit, there we go.
But it doesn't taste flat. Sometimes when you have them for a while and you pop it, and you don't get a lot of carb, and you can just kind of taste like it's flat. It doesn't really feel flat to me anyway.
So it's just one of those beers that just doesn't have a lot of carbonation.
Yeah, and a lot of it, like you said, I kind of poured it gentle too, so that might have had a little bit to do with it. Could have just poured it hard.
Well, sometimes when I get a beer like that, I'll kind of start just to kind of aerate a little bit and then pour it gentle near the finish. But yeah, just to see if you can get a nice head on there.
But it's nice, kind of has a maple flavoring to it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of almost like you just pour it on top of your pancakes. Almost kind of maple syrupy flavor.
Well, hey, take what you got left and just make a reduction sauce out of it and put it on tomorrow's breakfast.
Don't challenge me to something like that. Pour over some waffles or with some
breakfast. There you go. That'd be the way to start a morning.
Why are you slurring your words at 9 a.m.?
Yeah. Well, if you happen to do that, I suggest that you eat those pancakes with a Bloody Mary.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't sound too good. I'm not a big Bloody Mary guy anyway, but
No, not in the Bloody Marys. Well, find yourself another breakfast alcohol. Have a mimosa or something. Whatever floats you.
little
I'm more of an
screwdriver.
alcohol guy, but yeah.
You have a screwdriver, that'll work. It's a little orange juice and some vodka.
Get a screwdriver. Have a tequila sunrise. Do
Hey,
something.
hey, ooh, that sounds good. I hadn't had one of those in a while.
I've never been a fruit juice and liquor kind of guy. They don't work for me.
Yeah, I don't drink them too often either. I went through a little phase there years ago where I was making some tequila sunrises and screwdrivers and whatnot, but I don't bother with the fruit juices in them anymore. I'll just take them as shots now. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm kind of an alcohol purist myself. I don't like to mix much.
the other stuff just gets in the way, fills you up too much.
It does, doesn't it? It just gets in the way. Hampers everything. Yeah, there you go.
So how's yours?
It's good. It's a very nice pale ale. Lost 40 at a Little Rock. They're doing some very nice stuff. It's 5.5%. They have some writing on the can, but it's dark in here, and my eyes are old and tired, so I'm not going to read any of it to you. But it's a very, it's let me show you the can. It's a very nice pale ale. Let me show it to you. It's very clear. Again, it's not different than a lot of pale ales these days. It's very fruity. It's very crisp and clean. With Lost 40s, I get a small brewery at a Little Rock, and they're doing a lot of great beers. I had one from them not long ago called the Love Honey Bock, and that thing was very nice. It uses it was sort of an American version of a Bock that uses honey, a local Little Rock or local Arkansas honey. So that beer was good. But for a pale ale, this one's a contender.
That sounds good. Now, how far is Little Rock from you?
Little Rock from Springfield's about 4 hours.
Okay. So they distribute in your area, or are you just picking them up as you go down that way?
I just happened to find them when I was traveling through Arkansas.
Okay. All right. Sounds like some good stuff.
There is. It's funny, we talked about this before in the last episode, but it used to be you wouldn't think of areas like Springfield, Missouri, for instance, or parts of Northwest Arkansas for craft beer, but now craft breweries are popping up everywhere. No matter what your town is, you could have a craft brewery.
Yeah, and they seem to be coming in bunches, not just
They
one.
Yeah, you're right. As soon as one pops up, a whole bunch of them start popping up. It's not just the East Coast or West Coast anymore, or it's not even just the big cities in the Midwest. It's a lot of small towns are showing up with craft breweries that you don't expect to.
We've got. I know when you made your trip here and went to the New Albanian.
Mm-hmm.
There's a brewery that's kind of right across the street from them there. It's been open for, I want to say maybe a little over a year now. It's called Donham Day, and all they serve there is just their own stuff. And they do some nice stuff too. And they'll have 6 or 7 at any given point on tap of their own beer. And it's not one of these. It's not one of these like restaurant type places. You can get some appetizers, but it's just strictly you go and more like just a beer, kind of a beer bar.
Well, I don't know how it is in your neck of the woods, but a lot of places out here, well, even Springfield, Piney River is about 2 hours from Springfield, Piney River Brewery. They don't do food out there, but most weekends they try to bring out food trucks. And I think a lot of the smaller craft breweries are trying to do that. They don't want to get into the restaurant business. We'll try to bring food trucks out there so people can buy food out there, but then they don't have the overhead of having the restaurant.
Right. Yeah. There's several of them. Over in Louisville, Kentucky, is booming with craft beer. New craft beer places popping up. It's going crazy. probably in the last year and a half alone, I'd say there's been at least 5 or 6 that's opened up. And a lot of those are doing what you're doing. What you're saying is they'll either have food trucks, or they even allow you to bring your own food into the place.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Again, that's how Piney River is. Even if they have a food truck out there, you can still bring your own food in. A lot of folks, they even have a gas grill on a deck that you can use if you want.
Oh wow.
But they also Piney River is also one that allows you to bring. They basically allow you to bring anything that's not beer, or you can't bring whiskey in, obviously, but they allow you to bring in other soft drinks because my wife doesn't drink. When we come out there, they allow you to bring soft drinks or whatever you want in there. You just they don't want you bringing off-site beer, obviously, but I mean,
Right.
it's pretty relaxed, and bring whatever food you like, and even if they have a food truck that day, you can still bring picnic items.
And I think that's a fantastic idea. I think a lot of places, I'd like to see more places go to that.
Yeah, I do too. Putney River is what they call a destination brewery. You want to go there. They're only open limited hours, so usually people go there from open to close. You'll see folks get there at 1, 2 o'clock when they open. It stay till about 7 when they shut down. And it's just one of those places that's just friendly. It's family friendly. A lot of people bring their whole families out there, and they'll just throw a picnic all day. And there's outdoor games. I've even seen people bring footballs and stuff, and people make a day of it out there.
Yeah, I've seen some videos that you've done from there. Is that the one that kind of looks like it's just out in the middle of a cornfield almost?
Yeah, it actually is. I know it's not a cornfield, but they do raise cattle out there. And it is. I mean, I don't know if it's in the middle of nowhere, but you can see it from there.
Okay.
You can see nowhere from there. I don't know if it's actually nowhere. You can find it from that spot. Yeah, the funny thing is the first time I went out there, you start to go so far out of you're so far out of the way and so far out of any real big town and at some point you actually have to get on the gravel road to get to the brewery. I mean, I swear to goodness, in my head I was hearing dueling banjos. That scene from Deliverance started to play in my head. It's holy shit! What the hell? Yeah. The first time, my wife just reminded me. The first time we had this kamikaze turkey attack our car. Yeah, seriously, an actual wild turkey came out of the tree and attacked the car. Actually, ran into our car. I shit you not. A kamikaze turkey.
Nice. He had the helmet on and everything.
It's one of those great breweries because it's just so different. It is so unlike a lot of places. And at a time when so many craft breweries have become so crazy pretentious with the hipsters and wax mustaches and funky ass beers, it's so nice to find a place like that that's just nice and refreshing, where you're actually dealing with real people.
Yeah, and that's what I like about Flat 12. Like I've talked about before in a few of our other videos, opened up I want to call it like a satellite bar, but just a brew pub that they serve only their beers, but they'll have 14 at any given time. There'll be 14 beers on tap, all of their own. And I guess it's an expansion. They're out of Indianapolis, and I guess eventually they're planning on brewing beer here, and I'm not sure what the holdup is. I think they had already anticipated starting to brew beer. I guess maybe to increase distribution. I'm not really sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know some of those beer laws are kind of funky. You can only brew so many gallons or barrels of beer a year, unless you start opening up some of these like satellite type locations that allows them to expand, even more to what they can do. But anyway, this one's right on the river, and it's an awesome atmosphere. Like you were saying, it's just a small place. Don't really serve some appetizer type things like flatbread pizzas and some pretzels and beer cheese or something like that. And it's just a nice little cozy place. In the summertime they open up their patio. It's got a great view of the river, and it's just not really least the times that I've been there, you don't get that, like you were saying, kind of hipster feel to it. It's just a nice, friendly atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's not that I mean we've all been into those particular brew pubs where they do and a lot of those places do have some great beer. But for me, a great craft brewery isn't just about the beer; it's about the atmosphere. It's the whole package for me.
Yeah, I agree. And you get that one, you get that for sure out of this one. They'll pour you any sample you want. You can pretty much go 1 through 14 on their menu and take a sample of everything, and if pour a beer, or you get your flight of beer. And it really is
Yeah,
the way it's set up. It's just some big tables where they kind of encourage you just to sit down with people you don't know, and just kind of conversate.
yeah. Actually, that sounds very similar to Piney. Yeah, Piney River's kind of the same thing. That's nice. So, how about it, Todd? Any final words on that big 10% brown you're drinking?
Well, I about got her done, and I'm not laying on the
Yeah,
floor yet.
it's,
So,
it's a pleasure working with a professional. I'll tell you
well, with my friends, and I've been known to be called hollow leg at times. So,
there you go. So I
so
think
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
I want to thank Todd for joining me tonight. I'm Tommy the Beer Whisperer, and it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
good night.
Are you calling him back?
What happened?
Did
She
you?
hung up.
Well, I think I'm live. I don't know what I had some technical difficulties. I'm not sure what happened, so I've got to look Todd up, and I'm not sure. Anyways, who knows? Anyways, this time Beer Whisper. We'll end this session. We're both having technical difficulties tonight. Bye now.